4 in your corner following breaking news in Congressman Trey Radel's cocaine scandal. 28 days after going into rehab in Naples, the Republican is out now and ready to talk.
That's right. He's preparing to address the media and you right now at his Kit Coral office. You are taking a live look there at where that will be held. It's at the office where he apologized earlier and announced that he would enter rehab.
Remember, that happened just about a month ago. As soon as the congressman walks up to the podium and addresses you, you will see it live right here on Fox 4. But first, here's a summary of what's happened so far with this huge story in Southwest Florida. Radel is talking tonight about a month after he checked into rehab at the Hazelden Addiction Clinic in Naples. His wife dropped him off there a day after he pleaded guilty to cocaine possession in Washington, D.C. Court records indicate that he purchased cocaine from an undercover federal agent the month before in October, but he kept his coke bust a secret for 3 weeks, projecting a public image of business as usual, tweeting, Facebooking, speaking at a veterans event, even holding a fundraiser called Gourmet with Trey. Tonight, one of his fellow Republicans, the Lee County Sheriff, calling that move, quote, the height of deceit. Representative Radel has been unavailable to his constituents and the media for the past month.
Now, it's no surprise Trey Radel timed his press conference to start just as local newscasts were beginning. He learned the ins and outs of the local media as a reporter and anchor at Wink TV. That's where his rise to power began. Now, from there, he moved into the politically intense world of conservative radio. He hosted his own show on the local Fox radio station 92.5 with his former news anchor wife, Amy Wegman, campaigning with him. We are taking you live now to the press conference.
I thank you all for being here tonight, each and every one of you, and thank you, you watching at home right now, you listening right now at home. Your prayers and support have helped me more than you will ever know. Your encouragement has been nothing short of amazing, and it shows me once again why I love our community and our country so dearly. Well, I'm thankful. I am still remorseful. I made a mistake. And I know that. I let you down. I let our country down. And again, for that, I am sorry. I will do everything in my power to make it up to you and to regain your trust. My recovery is underway and it's ongoing. I have and I will continue to build a support system for the rest of my life. From here, I've learned to begin a step-by-step process that will be my tools of recovery, one day at a time. This includes lifestyle changes, from daily meetings that I will do to reconnecting with my spiritual side. But look, more tangibly, here's exactly what I know. Alcohol does not work for me. It was selfishly fun, but it became a problem when it led to poor choices and, more than that, missed opportunities. It never interfered with my congressional obligations, but it led me down a path that slowly but surely chipped away at my relationship with my wife, my child, and God. And it led to really bad decisions, which put me here today. My situation, though, isn't the end, and it's not the whole story. I have a new focus, and I'm making sure that the important things come first, because when I have to account for my life, it's the accomplishments that will matter. I'm proud of what I've done here in Southwest Florida, both professionally and personally. In just the last decade, I have been blessed with incredible opportunities here, including marrying the love of my life, to bringing our beautiful baby boy into this world. And then came this gift to serve you in Congress. Working for you in the House of Representatives has been undoubtedly one of the most amazing experiences of my life. You know what? I've never really cared if you're a Democrat, if you're a Republican, or not involved in politics at all. My door has always been open to serve each and every one of you, all of us here in Southwest Florida, that I hold so dear. So as your servant in Congress, my voting record has been indisputable when it comes to fighting for you and your family. I have worked very hard to build up solid relationships with both parties to find solutions and get something done. And on top of that, I've done everything in my power to be one of the most accessible members of Congress, one of the most accessible members in the entire House of Representatives. My door has always been open. I've always been there trying to do everything I can to personally take your calls, answer your emails, your questions, and of course, visiting you in person. I love what I do, and I'm going to return to what I do. what you sent me to do in Washington, D.C., which is working for you and your family while I relish mine. And no one will take away my passion when it comes to serving Southwest Florida. Amy and I are vested in this community. This is our home where we're going to raise our kids with your kids and your grandkids. You're not my constituents. You're more than that. You're our neighbors, you're our friends, and you're our family. Moving forward, I ask for your forgiveness and I ask for your prayers. God bless you for your friendship. I hope that I can build on this to be a positive example and set a positive example for years to come. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And in the spirit of Christmas, thank you so much for this gift to serve you. Amy and I hope to see you soon. With that said, I am happy to take questions about anything at all that you'd like, and I will stay here as long as you'd like.
Congressman, for the past couple of minutes, you spoke a lot about your journey to this moment, but you spoke a little about the cocaine use. And so many voters we spoke to want to know, one, were you addicted to cocaine, and how many times have you used it?
Sure. A handful of times. I've been treated for the disease of alcoholism. Alcohol is my issue. This is what has happened clinically. Clinically, I'm being treated for the disease of alcoholism. I now have a step-by-step program and a rediscovery of faith and family of God, which I have lost over the years, to focus on what's important and to build my life one day at a time. That's my issue.
Have you ever been high or drunk while voting on Capitol Hill?
Never. Nothing, never, it never interfered with my congressional obligations. This was my personal issue on personal time. It was after work. And I regret it because of how it chipped away at my relationships with my friends, my family, my wife, my child, my father. And so now it is imperative that I continue to harness this support system that I have in both Washington and right here in Southwest Florida to live to be a better man every single day.
What do you have to say to the numerous Republican Party leaders that want you to resign, especially after voting 2 drug test food stamp recipients?
With drug testing for food stamp Republic, I think members of Congress can and should be tested as well, and maybe it'll help someone else in the future. With respect to anyone that's asked for my resignation, I have a lot of work that I have to do to rebuild the trust. But it's not just among establishment party members. I have to rebuild the trust with the father out there struggling to get home early from work, to have a dinner with his kids, to the mom trying to get their kids to soccer practice. I have to work to rebuild their trust, and I'm confident now with a clearer focus and a stronger mind that I can do that, and I look forward to doing so this next year.
Who were you with the day that you got busted?
A private person. What's more important is who I was not with. I was not with a member of Congress. I was not with anyone that has anything to do at all with anything on Capitol Hill. No lobbyists, no aide, no staff, nothing at all. It's a private person, and I'm going to leave it that way. Everything else is in the course document. I'm sorry?
Will you be running for another term?
Politics and re-election are the absolute last thing on my mind right now. What's on my mind is my rock right here to my right, my wife, who I love dearly, my child, my health, rebuilding the trust in Southwest Florida, and having a great new year.
If you have long suffered from alcoholism, why did you not disclose this 2 years ago when you first ran for office? Shouldn't this have been something the voters needed to know?
This is something that I've questioned in my life. I think at some points in life, God was kicking me in the shins, saying, Trey, maybe you need to wake up. And here I am today before you, taking full accountability and full responsibility for my actions. And in doing so, I will be a better man, not just for the constituents and people of Southwest Florida, but for my family.
Congressman, if I may, direct this towards Amy, who's been kind of notably absent since this all happened. You know your husband better than most people. What would you say to the voters of Southwest Florida about him?
I don't have to say much. I mean, he's an amazing man. I'm here supporting him. I stand by Trey because I do support him 100%. I love him unconditionally. Noticeably absent, I have a 2-year-old who I was tending to. He's a great man. He's a great father. He's a great husband. And, you know, he set the bar really high, even going through all of these struggles. We've been together for 10 years, and He's been awesome, even though we have struggles in life, as do many people. So I'm actually really hopeful, and I'm really excited about the bigger, better, stronger Trey and bigger, better, stronger marriage, you know?
Amy, when did you find out about these issues?
I think that, you know, we have private conversations in our marriage, and I'm sure you guys, if you're married, have private conversations too, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
And this is my mistake. This is my doing. And I'm here to answer to you, to the people of Southwest Florida.
Congressman, what happens tomorrow? Will you continue serving Southwest Florida in the same capacity you did before this arrest?
Absolutely. I'm proud of my record here, not just as a member of Congress, but the amazing opportunities that I've also had here personally. Southwest Florida is an amazing place, and with the grace of God, I am going to continue doing what I love to do, what I have been elected to do, with a clearer focus, more focused than ever before. And tomorrow, I look forward to waking up in the morning and setting up our Christmas tree, which I haven't had a chance to do yet.
Congressman, we've got a lot of questions from viewers about this one issue. The money that you paid for the cocaine was $250. Was that part of your salary? Was that taxpayer money?
It's my money. I mean, I've been blessed with building up and selling a business here in Southwest Florida. I haven't money. I'm not going to get into parsing or defining what's that. But what I am doing is taking full responsibility and being held accountable among all aspects and moving forward in my life to be a better man for you and for my family. And that's why, again, I will sit here and answer questions as long as you all would like. If there's anything else, I'm more than happy to answer. And the people watching right now, listening right now, know that I have done everything I can to be as accessible as possible. My door has always been open for Republicans, Democrats, people don't pay attention to politics at all. I will answer questions. I will take responsibility, be held accountable, and look forward to a great new year of serving Southwest Florida.
Summarize rehab. What did you learn there?
I've learned that I will take this a day at a time. I have learned a step-by-step process to help me build on my spirit, on my character, turning my life and my will over to the care of God.
Have you ever done cocaine in Southwest Florida?
No.
When did you start doing cocaine?
Look, I'm not going to sit here and get into a reporter's log of all of my life, but it's been a handful of times, and like many others in college, I experimented with drugs.
Congressman Radel, during your treatment, you missed out on some very big bills important to Florida, like the clean water bills, farm bills. What do you have to say to those people in Florida who were impacted by that, who didn't get your vote on Capitol Hill?
I'm not really sure of the farm bill that you're referencing within that. That's not the case. There was a budget bill, which, regardless of me being there, would have passed. I have been here for Southwest Florida this entire year, working to build relationships with Democrats and Republicans. I've been proud to pass conservative legislation with liberal Democrats, protecting our environment here in Southwest Florida, making sure that our debt stays in check, our deficits stay in check, and making sure that I watch over and do everything I can to protect your Medicare and your Social Security, and I'm going to continue to do that in 2014.
Congressman, you bought an 8-ball of cocaine, is what it was. That's quite a bit. But you're saying that you only experimented a couple times and you weren't a heavy user? That's a lot of cocaine for an experimental person to just be buying.
Yeah, I was treated clinically for the disease of alcoholism. Alcohol has been my issue and has led to bad decisions, and that's why I'm here today talking with you all.
I mean, you found a dealer in 10 months. I mean, that's not something that a casual user does, you know. And also, you know, you had a stash in your house when the DEA came to you, I mean the FBI. I mean, do you really stand by it's been just a couple times?
Yes, I do.
Congressman, who paid for your treatment in Hazleton?
So the way that health insurance works is a claim still has to be submitted, which it has not fully been submitted yet. I've already paid a substantial amount out of pocket, and I pay into my health insurance. It's my health insurance for my health and my insurance, and this is what it's here for. If it doesn't pay for it, I'll pay for it all out of pocket.
Congressman, to the people in Southwest Florida who elected you on the idea that you were a conservative family man, you pushed that image to them. A lot of people have told our cameras you're a liar. What's your response to them?
I'm not a liar. I'm standing here with my wife today, and I'm doing everything. I've done this to be a better man for my wife and my child. Some of us ask, when are you going to come clean with your kid? You know, in 10 years, are you going to go look on the internet with him? And the answer is no. He'll learn about it now. My son will grow up in a household where he will know that I am doing everything I can to be a better father for him, to take responsibility on a daily basis, and do everything I can to be the best man possible for him and to be a role model for my 2-year-old. I love my family. My wife is my rock. And she has been tremendous throughout all of this, helping me day after day, her unwavering support. I want to return the same to her and do the same for my little guy.
Several people in the community have sort of shown an interest in your seat. I mean, I know right now your focus is on sort of regaining trust with all of us, but at what time are you going to take a look at whether or not to run again?
Elections, politics, political figures are all the last thing in my mind right now. And I don't have a time frame for when I'll decide to do that. I am focused right now on my family, regaining the trust of Southwest Florida, and getting back to work to what I was elected to do.
Have you spoken to some of the leadership, Speaker Boehner?
Speaker Boehner suggested that I go get the help and treatment that I need. I did so, and I believe that I'm a better man for it, and I hope to show those who have supported me or those who may have called a resignation that I am getting through this on a daily basis as a stronger and better man, not just for the Republican Party, but for the entire country.
Has this been indicated to you whether or not you will undergo routine drug testing?
That can happen.
What do you mean that can?
Yes, as part of in the court documents.
How did you keep abreast of the happenings while you were in your rehab?
I didn't for a considerable amount of time. My phone was shut off. At the very beginning, I took phone calls from friends. Some of those friends are people who are in politics, who were so gracious and so kind with words of support and encouragement to get well and to focus on everything that I've been focusing on and talking about that. Focused on my faith, my family, and getting well. And then the phone went off for a considerable amount of time.
And one last follow-up. What issues has your staff brought to you as now you're back, Congressman? These are the pressing issues that we've been getting calls about. Can you speak to those issues?
The issues in this country remain the same. While I have
one specific to Southwest Florida.
Sure. Well, I think that Southwest Florida is a microcosm of the United States. We still have a real estate market that is starting to come back up, but isn't doing as well as it should. We still have a $17 trillion debt. Medicare and Social Security are all still threatened by an irresponsible Washington. And upon return, when it comes back to legislating and to voting, that's what I'm going to be focused on what's important for Southwest Florida, for the people watching right now. And that's part of how I plan to rebuild the trust that I've broken today, to take responsibility, to be accountable for what I've done, and return to Washington to do what they sent me to do.
The issue happened in October. We didn't hear from you until November. Why did you wait so long to come out and tell everybody what happened?
I knew that this day was going to come and that I would have to be held accountable to come forward with all of the details, but that was simply an issue with attorneys, with counsel.
There's an ethics subcommittee investigation going on now. What role will you play in that investigation? Will you be voluntarily
Absolutely.
testifying, papers?
Ethics should be investigating. They absolutely should be. And I will cooperate with them in every absolute possible way that I can, and I'll be as open with them as I am with you.
Do you know anything about a time frame on that investigation?
I do not. I'm sorry.
Are you worried that they'll remove you from your position?
I'm not focused on that. I am doing everything I can to take responsibility, accountability, and anything that they do I will cooperate with and go out of my way to work with them, and I will do everything I possibly can to rebuild the trust of Southwest Florida, to get back to Washington doing what they sent me to do. Really, we have all the questions. Thank you for being here. Thank you. If you're watching right now or listening right now, I understand the gravity of the situation. I understand what I have to do. I love what I do. I love serving you, and I'm excited to begin this process of rebuilding your trust and doing what you elected me to do. Moving forward, I do look to put up the Christmas tree tomorrow. I have done everything I can here tonight to answer each and every single one of your questions. I would ask for a little bit of time to spend with my family. Other than that, you know where to find me, and everyone listening or watching right now always knows that my door is open 24/7. Thank you.
Trey, one last question. You held a fundraiser the day after.
I will do everything I can to get right with them, and we'll be in touch with them now. Thank you all.
You're watching live as Congressman Trey Radel leaves his congressional office there in Cape Coral with his wife. He did say at the beginning he would stay and answer every single question, but as you could hear, there was a final question there that he did not answer. He said he would make himself available, and he gave incomplete answers to many of the tougher questions he was asked about, specifically about cocaine use and about whether he wants to run for re-election.
He has said that he's not going to step down at this point. Now, we're going to cover this throughout the newscast, so stick with us here. We have complete coverage of Congressman Trey Radel's press conference and release from rehab online as well. If you want to go back and read that, just head to fox4now.com.